Okay, it's Tuesday, December 14th, and kind of a crazy day. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so an hour and a half into trading. You can see here I've traded 5 stocks today: Beyond Meat, Moderna, Facebook, Coinbase, and Nvidia. And I kind of made videos as I was taking these trades and some follow-up videos, but I think it's just better, given the hectic morning, that I just kind of recap them all and show you what I did on the charts. So I'll do that. Oh, and first thing, just looking at the SPY itself, the market itself. Let me get back to that. You can see we gapped lower, and it looked like we might have, buying coming in, but it was pretty clear that that wasn't happening early on, and now we're heading much lower. So this is a weak day in the market, and that was kind of a reason why I wanted to get out a lot of these trades early. Although there were some good charts here from yesterday that should have followed through higher, and one gap up, and a couple of others that I thought might reverse given their recent downtrends. But I'll show you those quickly here as I go through the charts. These blue charts with the ones that look like they had potential in the morning. The first trade here, well, one of the first ones was Facebook. I bought near the top, the blue line here near the top of this 15-minute bar. It came down to the midway point of that bar, so I had to take a small loss, and now we're heading lower. Still grinding within this 15-minute bar, so it'll be interesting to see if we hold and maybe break higher later. I doubt it, given the market. If anything, this small loss is probably, going to prevent a much bigger loss. But in terms of the context here, we were at the bottom of yesterday's green bar. This is the daily chart, and I thought if we could follow through on that second bar, we could move to the top, kind of follow through green from yesterday and move to the top of yesterday's range. But you would have had to break through this, yesterday's close, which was the yellow line on this next bar. It never happened, so I had to take the small loss. Then there was a gapping up trade, Beyond Meat, which is kind of reversing a long downtrend. But I like the fact that, it's been in a big downtrend. We had a small red bar yesterday. You can see this is the price action. We gapped up big overnight. Aftermarket, and then overnight we were just kind of grinding lower, but holding above, the midpoint and highs of yesterday, and then we started up on that on a strong 5-minute bar. So I bought that pretty aggressively. Near the 5-minute chart, moving up here, and then we kind of paused for a bar, and then we moved up for like 4 bars. So this was, and I sold up near here just because once it was kind of not kind of turning red in this area. So I took a nice, it's a small gain, but it was actually a decent gain on this stock. So that's a gain on Beyond Meat. Then the 2 stocks that I liked, one from yesterday, one I think had a big reversal potential. Moderna was actually, I traded yesterday. You can see it was a nice up day, and I made some. And so now we're kind of coming down to the support area, and which I had identified, and then we had the nice green bar to start higher. So I bought in there. We paused a little bit and then headed higher. This one, because it just didn't follow, it eventually took out, that first bar high, and then it was pausing. So I just got out here with a very small gain. And you can see here it's still grinding higher, because this stock kind of moves a little independent of the market, but I just didn't like it, and wanted to take a small gain on this one. It didn't follow through strongly like it should, kind of back to the close and the high of yesterday. It still might do it, but just doesn't have the price action at the moment. The big winner here for me was Coinbase. I got in here on the first bar, 15-minute green. We just kind of paused, and then we moved up strong. We went to the target of these overnight highs and then blasted right through it. So I was able to get in here like at 249 and get out close to 260. So it was 10 points worth of gain, and this was the big winner on the day. And again, this is just reversing a big downtrend. But this stock, if you follow it, it has the potential to do that, make kind of, after we took out the pivot lows here, I kind of like that. It trapped a lot of sellers. So this thing could rally strongly, even in this downtrend, at least for a day. And the opening price action was kind of leading, price that way, at least to move up to those overnight highs. So that was an excellent trade here. And then finally, Nvidia, this is another one that I think had a potential to reverse. It took out a pivot low. Let me show you on the daily chart here from it's kind of in a range, and it took out this low, so we could trap a lot of sellers if we can get the strong opening, at least to the midpoint. I was targeting the midpoint of this 50, of yesterday's bar. We're not above the midpoint. It's not one of those trades. It's kind of one of those, reversal type of trades if we get the good opening. And price kind of moved up. I didn't buy it right away because, again, this one did, who knows what's going to happen. But then when it was just pausing in here, I kind of like that setup to really maybe trap a lot of these sellers if we can move up. And on this green bar, you can see here I bought at the blue line. But once we I really wanted to see strong follow through. And then as it came down, I took a very small gain actually here. And now we're just kind of grinding lower, and it's just a nothing day on NVIDIA. So this was a small gain. So bottom line, small gain on NVIDIA, small loss on Facebook, small gain on Moderna, very nice gain on Coinbase, and actually a pretty nice gain on Beyond Meat. So overall, good day of trading. It was kind of hectic. I don't always like being in that many positions, so quickly in and out, but it worked out today. And I think it's a tricky day in the market. Like I said, we are heading lower, and well, it's just, a lot of stocks really aren't. These are the ones that had some opportunity, but most stocks on the board, there's nothing going on. So we'll see what happens by the end of the day, and what opportunities might develop tomorrow.